Tuesday, government officials and policymakers. It is important for us to awaken to the fact that our governments and policymakers are a reflection of our own collective inner turmoil. They mirror our own insecurities, fears, and focus. Whether elected or not, they reflect those things upon which the society they represent places its attention. Unfortunately, too often they reflect our collective fear and war and tyranny results. They reflect our intolerance and deep-seated feelings of superiority, our egotistical us versus them mentality, our lack of trust, and their rhetoric reflects that intolerance. They act out on the world stage on our own inner state of chaos, our lust for power or possessions. In return, we degrade them as power-mad, greedy, without ever looking within and realizing that we too have all of their faults on a smaller, individual scale. On a collective scale, these faults are magnified and manifested with greater vigor. We must awaken to the truth. We can teach ourselves to perceive the spark of love that each and every one of us embodies, no matter how deeply buried beneath our veneers of hardness and callous disregard and disrespect. We are here to change the world, beginning with ourselves. As quantum events, by changing ourselves, we cannot help but change the world and the way we perceive it. We can awaken to the truth that we are all tiny sparks of a much bigger flame that burns but does not consume. And we can do it within these bodies. However, it takes practice, until you get it right, and then practice some more until you get it beautiful. We need to practice seeing the divine in ourselves, and by extension in all those we encounter. We need to practice peace, envision it, build it in our inner worlds, brick by painstaking brick, and anchor it in our consciousness for it to be made manifest in our world. We need to awaken to our power, hidden for so long beneath dogma and intolerance of difference. It's our power to change the world our children live in. This was Michael Jackson's consistent message to us. He lived it. He breathed it. He supported it in song, dance, and humanitarian outreach. Let us all awaken to his message and carry it forward every day in all that we think, do, and say. Many of our most important modern spiritual authors and leaders have restated this adage. You'll see it when you believe it. Wayne W. Dyer. The Spontaneous Healing of Belief. Greg Braden. Change your thoughts. Change your life. Wayne W. Dyer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. Michael Jackson. Imagine, if you will, that our governmental leaders and policymakers are now entering the room and taking their seats at the huge round table we introduced in yesterday's meditation. Some are wearing suits and ties, others are wearing national attire. They are entering and taking a seat around our miraculous round table. We see them taking their seats in full and conscious awareness that they are here in this circular room to serve the greater good for all of their constituents. They are awakening to their prominent roles of respect for the differences represented around this round table. They are awakening to their roles of service to humanity.